राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। हम छठा, so today we are starting the sixth verse of Nectar of Instruction. You are welcome for continuity of work. Nectar of Instruction by Sri Rupa Goswami. So verse number 6. दृष्टै स्वभावजनितै वपुषश्च दोषै न प्राकृतत्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्ये गंगाम्भसां न खलो बुद्बुदाफेन पंकै ब्रह्मद्रवेतुम् अपगच्छति नीरधर्मः। The last two lines is an analogy. The water of the Ganges is always pure and transcendental, though in a rainy season it may look muddy, it may look foamy, it may have the bubbles, but it is always considered pure. Similarly, a devotee, because of birth in some family, or because of his bodily deformity, his color, his creed, his caste, if he is a devotee, these faults should never be looked upon. Because this is a material vision. So now the translation is being situated in his original Krishna conscious position. The devotee who is situated in his original Krishna conscious position means Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nitya Das. It means he is at the spiritual platform of his soul. He is beyond bodily platform. A pure devotee does not identify with body. This is another qualification of the same devotee. He is beyond the body. He is beyond bodily conception. Such devotee, it means pure devotee, who has realized his identity as the eternal servant of Krishna. The devotee who is pure beyond bodily conception, bodily identification. Such a devotee. Such a devotee should not be seen from materialistic point of view. Na prakrititvam pashyet. Na prakrititvam pashyet. Never look upon him with a material vision. Should not be seen from materialist point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born in low family. Swabhava janatai. Janatai means born in a family, and his nature. Number one, body born in low family. Number two, body with a bad complexion. Number three, a deformed body. Number four, a disease or infirm body. Vapu means body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfection may seem prominent in the body of pure devotee. It means what Prabhupada wants to say, those who are pure devotees, many times you can see these faults in them. It means pure devotees sometimes have this type of bodily defects. But despite such a seeming defect, a body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. By this defect, body is not contaminated. Na prakritam iya bhakta janasya pashyeta. Polluted by modes of material nature. It is exactly like the water of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foams and mud. These three words are there. Budbuda means bubble, Fen means foam, Pankaj means mud. Pankaj. Pankaj, have you heard the word Pankaj? Yes. Pank means mud, and Ja means one who is born. One who is born in mud. Pankaj is a lotus. The lotus is called Pankaj, born in mud. The Ganges water do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Because water is Brahmatvam. It is the water of the casual ocean. Its water is called Ganges because it has washed the lotus feet of Vamandev. So it's called Charanamrit. Charana Siddhu Dekhi Ganga. Charana Siddhu. Now I have a class, Hare Krishna. So the verse 6 purport 1 and 2 paragraph glories of Shuddha Bhakti. And the paragraph 3 to 9 is sixth warning against Vaishnava criticism. Which means, which Vaishnava? Two things. One who has realized his constitutional position. Number two, who is beyond bodily concept of life. In such a great way, generally, it means a spiritual master. Generally, it means a spiritual master. Is it okay? The most of the purport is more like a spiritual master. The body of the spiritual master should never be considered ordinary body. The deity should be not considered made of metal. It's a verse. So now, this, let us read our book. Then we'll go to this. So first is the glories of Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti is the activity of the soul. When we say Shuddha Bhakti, Shuddha means pure. Pure Bhakti, pure devotion is the activity of the soul. And what is the activity of the soul? Engagement in transcendental loving service of the Lord. What is the activity of the soul? Engagement in transcendental loving service of the Lord. And this can only be performed at liberated stage. So we have three things about Shuddha Bhakti in this paragraph. Number one, activity of the pure soul. Number two, engagement in transcendental loving service of the Lord. Number three, performed in liberated stage. What is liberated stage? That is the verse now. Mam chayo avibhicharena bhakti yogena sevate se gunan samatai taitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstances, at once transcend the modes of material nature and thus come to the level of Brahma. It means he is liberated. He comes to the level of Brahma means he is liberated. And in that liberated stage, the pure devotional service is executed. Is it okay? Now Prabhupada is explaining avibhicharani. Avibhicharani bhakti means unalloyed devotion. Generally, vibhichara and avibhichara. A gentleman has a wife, and wife is fully dedicated to the gentleman. She is called avibhicharani lady. And if she has some other here and there more relations, then she is called vibhicharani. So that devotion which is only for Supreme Personality of Godhead is the avibhicharani bhakti. The word vibhicharani and avibhicharani is in common sense. The chaste wife and unchaste wife. Unchaste is avibhicharani, chaste is avibhicharani is unchaste. And vibhicharani is
Avibhicharani is a chaste.
Avibhicharani is chaste and vibhicharani is unchaste. It's called Mukande Mati Sati. In Bhagavad it says Sati Mati Mukande. The chaste intelligence is only focused on Mukunda. That is called Avivicharani Bhakti. It means the person make the Lord sit in his intelligence and give the control of his mind in the hands of the Lord. This is Avivicharani Bhakti. And the example you can see when I gave this example, Arjun, where is Krishna sitting? Chariot driver, which is intelligence. What is in Krishna's hands? Reins of the horses, which is mind. This is Avivicharani Bhakti, in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Mayeva mana adhastva madhi mai buddhim niveshaya. One who make his intelligence my residence, and one who deposits his mind to me is the dearest devotee. So this is Avivicharani Bhakti. So this is the Avivicharani Bhakti means unalloyed devotion. A person engaged in devotional service must be free from material motives. Material motives means
Material desires. Material desires.
Anya Abhilashita Sunyam. Anya Abhilashita Sunyam. In this Krishna conscious movement, one's consciousness must be changed. One's consciousness must be changed from enjoying material consciousness to transcendental service consciousness. So, must be changed. If consciousness aims towards material enjoyment, it is material consciousness. And if it is aimed towards serving Krishna, it is Krishna consciousness. So, in this Krishna conscious movement, this is put in your list of the purpose of Krishna conscious movement. Put in that page. You made that page?
Yes.
No? So see, in this Krishna conscious movement, it means the purpose of the Krishna conscious movement is to change the consciousness of a person from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness. From material consciousness to Krishna consciousness. Is it okay? Right? Okay. A surrendered soul serves Krishna without material consideration. A surrendered soul. How soul surrender? Surrender soul means definition of surrender. Six characteristics of surrender. Anukulye navarjanam pratikulye navarjanam goptatve. These are six karpanya. So these are the six characteristics of surrender in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We discussed, I think, one day, right? How somebody can surrender his soul? By process of initiation. How the surrender process is executed? By the initiation. Jai Kale Shishu Kare Atma, which means surrender. The time disciples surrender. Say Kale Krishna Kare Aap Sam. At that time, Krishna accept that person as his own. So when we read words, we know how these words actually practically apply in our life. One soul surrender. You read this, it never spit in your mind what it means. It means you take initiation. And then you develop 6 characteristics of surrender. Anukulya means do favorable things for devotion. Give up the unfavorable things. Have firm faith Krishna will protect. Just depend upon Krishna. These are the all characteristics of surrender. A surrendered soul serves Krishna without material consideration. Again, same thing, Anyabilashita Sunyam. Gyan Karmadi Anavratam. An alive devotional service which is transcendent to the activities of the body and mind. Body of see these 2 words. What are the first? Before these English translation come, what are the 2 words? Gyan Karmadi. So karam is a function of body and gyan is a function of mind. Can you see this? Huh? So now you understand? It means which is transcendental to the activities of the body and mind. Such as gyan is mental speculation and karam is a fruitive work. So work is with body and gyan is with mind. So the person is free from the mental and bodily concept. It's beyond the mental and bodily concept. Okay? Is called pure bhakti. Bhakti yoga is the proper activity of the soul. And when one actually engages in unallied devotion, uncontaminated devotional service, he is already liberated. Sagunan samataitetana. So contaminated by modes of material nature, now he is free from the influence of modes of material nature. So bhakti is the activity of the soul. Bhakti is Swarup Shakti of Krishna. And we are part and parcel of Krishna. So bhakti is our natural activity. Bhakti is the natural activity of the soul. Krishna's devotee is not subjected to material condition. Even though his bodily feature may appear materially conditioned. It's okay? Krishna's devotee is not materially conditioned. His body may be materially conditioned. Can you see this? Krishna's devotee is not subjected to material condition, means influence of modes of 3 material nature, three modes of material nature. Even though his bodily feature may appear materially conditioned. Bodily feature materially conditioned means he may have taken birth in a low family. His body may not look very fair. He may have some bodily defect or a disease. One should therefore not see the pure devotee from materialistic point of view. Unless one is actually a devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. This line is most important. If you are not a doctor, you cannot understand the language of a doctor. If you are not an engineer, you will not understand the language of an engineer. If you are not an advocate, you will not understand the language of advocate. If you are not a devotee, you will not understand devotee. Very simple. It's just a, this is the science. If you are a student of the same subject, then only you can understand. So this is only devotee can understand devotee. As explained in the previous verse, there are three types of devotees: Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam. Anybody can, one who will speak. The criteria for classifying devotees in three categories. Who will speak? Criteria to classify devotee in three categories.
Based on faith.
Based on faith in and faith in scripture and instruction of
Spiritual master.
spiritual master. This is the foundation for classifying three devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Shraddha Anuswari Kanishta Madhyam Uttam, according to the faith and the scripture. But this scripture is always explained by spiritual master. So both. And what is the yardstick till which level somebody is Madhyam, Kanishta, Uttam?
Chanting.
From Adav, Shraddha to Prem, from the faith to love of God. Generally, up till Anarth Nivarti, clearing stage from offenses is Kanishta. From Anarth Nivarti to Asakti is Madhyam. Bhav and Prem is Uttam. This is general. Now, the Kanishta Adhikari cannot distinguish between devotee and non-devotee. So if we are Kanishta, then we will make 6 mistakes in dealing with pure devotees. It means Kanishta devotee always commit mistake in dealing with pure devotees. Is it clear? He is simply concerned with the worshipping the deity in the temple. Madhyam Adhikari, however, can distinguish between devotee and non-devotee, as well as between the devotee and the Lord. Thus, he treats the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotee and the non-devotee in different way. So how Madhyam treats 3? Number 1, he is attached to Krishna. He loves God. Then
He makes friends with the devotees.
he makes friends with the devotees. 3, compassionate to the innocent neophyte and is indifferent to the envious. So he knows how to deal with the different devotees, non-devotees and Supreme Lord. Kanishta cannot. Thus, it is okay. No one should criticize. Now we are going to the. No one should criticize the bodily defect of a pure devotee. No one. If there are such defects, they should be overlooked. What should be taken into account is the spiritual master's main business. Now the devotee has become a spiritual master. Can you see this? The main business of the spiritual master, what is that business? Devotional service. Pure service to Supreme Lord. And what is that pure service? Which we have already discussed. Activity of the soul. Now, there's a verse quoted from 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Apichet sudaracharo bhajate mamananyabha sadhurev samantavya samyak vivastito hi saha. That is a very interesting verse. In 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, those who are born, those who are sinful of this life, number one. Those who are born in a sinful families, they all can practice devotional service. Then what to speak of Brahmanas and devotees, because they are naturally inclined to devotion. So there are some gurus. This is the first one. The sinner of this life. He commits some abominable action which should be criticized in this life. Is durachari, it means his behavior is bad. He is bad behaved person. In Bhagavad Gita, when you read the purport on this verse, this is the purport of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He writes, there are activities of the soul which are constitutional, and there are activities of the body which are conditional. He writes like that. He said the devotee, he is situated in his activities of the soul, constitutional service. Ananyabhak, bhajate ananyabhak. But his bodily conditioning from past life sometimes force him to do some accidental abominable act. That should not be criticized. Because constitutionally he is situated in his original position. So there are three types of commentary on this verse. One commentary is called liberal. Even if a pure devotee does some mistake, one should not criticize him, consider him as sadhu. This is called liberal. One is conservative. Devotee can never commit any wrong thing. So it's like that. It's like that. A sun arose from the west, which is not possible. So devotee cannot do mistake. Therefore he is sadhu. And there is a Rasik commentary. Rasik commentary is different from all these. Apichet duracharo. Krishna, though he is playing with the Ras Leela with the wives of the others, so he's a durachari. Yeah? Krishna is a durachari, yeah? What he's doing? He's dancing with the gopis who are married to the coward boys. Apichet duracharo. Bhajate mam ananda. If still they are my devotees. sadhu, they are sadhu. Because they know all this about me, but still they are my devotees. This is a Rasik commentary. This is the verse spoken in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Raghupati Upadhyaya from Tiruhatti. His own poetry, he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will believe me that my Lord is Krishna who is hunting the gopis in the Vrindavan. Who will believe me? And Mahaprabhu said, wonderful. First he said, those who worship the Brahm and Upanishad is now playing in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And then he says, that same Krishna, with who the gopis of Vrindavan, he is really chasing them and hunting them. Who will believe me? So such a person is actually sadhu. This is the another meaning of this verse. So, but it is normal meaning, which what?
So, like one who reaches to the Uttama stage, they can only really understand this Rasika stage or something.
This is very high stage.
This is very high stage. But
Bhakti
for
Vinod
Madhyama,
Thakur has written Vishwanath, some they only can write like that.
those who has reached to the Madhyama stage, isn't it very natural to differentiate because of our own protection? Because sometimes this kind of association also can come in.
We can understand only the person at our level. Whatever level we are, we can understand up to that level. So now let's see the translation. Even if a devotee, why is devotee? Bhajante Ananya Bhak. Because he is serving Ananya. He is serving only one, no Anya. Only Krishna, not going to anybody else. The one meaning of Ananya is not nobody except Krishna, which means avibhichari. The another meaning of Ananya means continuously. Seem to engage in abominable activities. Sometimes such person is seen to engage in abominable activities. He should be considered a sadhu, saintly person, because his actual identity is that one engaged in the loving service of Lord. In other words, he is not to be considered an ordinary human being. So you should not criticize me if I am coughing, okay? A very saintly person is coming here to give class. There's a rain outside. He fell down in a mud. When he's coming here, he's already all around, soiled with all mud and everything. So how will you look at that person? And maybe there was cow dung and so many other things. How will you look at this? Then he's just sitting under a tap and trying to clean himself. Why is dirty, man? He's completely muddy. He said, yes, I fell down. But what I'm doing?
Trying to get rid of.
I'm sitting under the tap, I'm cleaning myself. So such persons, they do mistake accidentally, but then immediately they repent, I have done something wrong, I should really clean myself. So sometime you can see people committing some gross mistake, you can see. But still, because of their devotion, they should not be criticized.
Regarding this slope application Sudacharo and the seventh offense of the holy name. So how can we draw the line between these two? Because
What is seventh offense of the holy name?
to commit offense in the strength of the holy name.
So he's not committing offense of the holy name. It is just accidental. I'm just giving same example of Sanatana Goswami. To get release from prison, he paid bribe. He spoke lie. So it is a abominable act. Yes. It's not a culture. It's not a behavior of a gentleman. But anybody criticize him? No. Because that was the need of the time and circumstances for him to come
Out of prison.
to the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Same Sanatana Goswami, when he went from here to Jagannath Puri, on the way he got some skin disease. So from his skin, blood and pus was oozing. And Mahaprabhu used to embrace him every day. He said, I'm foul smell coming, Mahaprabhu, your golden body is contaminated. He said, I am purified by embracing you. I am purified by embracing you. So Mahaprabhu did not see the bodily infirmity of Sanatana Goswami. One Brahman from Navadip went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Puri. He said, I completely believe that you are none different than Krishna. But I have some doubts about Nityananda Prabhu. He is wearing silk cloth, he is sannyasi, he is chewing pan, betel nuts, it's not sannyasi. Mahaprabhu said, even if Nityananda Prabhu has a wine bottle in his hand and he has a hand around the neck of a prostitute, still he is worshipable for me. Mahaprabhu said this. Then Mahaprabhu gave the another example. Say 6 grandsons of Brahma, son of Marichi, Rishi Marichi, they left at Brahma when accidentally he ran behind his own daughter walk. With a lusty desire. They left and they fell down from that grandson of Brahma and become a demons. So Mahaprabhu said, never ever find fault with exalted Vaishnava. Vaishnava kriya mudra vigya na jane. We don't know how the Vaishnava behave. Sometimes they act in such a way to make the public run away from there, not disturb them. They shout sometimes. They become angry because they don't want themselves to be disturbed in their bhajan. So we cannot understand really highly qualified Vaishnavas. Sometimes they behave like that. So now, even though a pure devotee may not be born in a Brahman or Goswami family, if he is engaged in a service of Lord, he should not be neglected. In actuality, there cannot be a family of Goswami based on the material consideration, caste or heredity. The Goswami title is actually the monopoly of a pure devotee. Thus we speak of the six Goswami headed by Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had practically become Mohammedans and had therefore changed their name to Dabir Khas and Sakir Malik. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself made them Goswamis. Therefore, the Goswami title is not hereditary. The word Goswami refers to one who can control his senses. Who is the master of the senses? A devotee is not controlled by the senses, but is the controller of the senses. Consequently, he should be called Swami or Goswami, even though he may not be born in Goswami family. This Srila Prabhupada is actually defending his Western devotees. Srila Prabhupada is defending his Western devotees. And also the devotees who are not coming from Brahman families. According to this formula, it means one who controls senses is a Goswami, not the one who is born in a family of Goswami. According to this formula, the Goswami who are descendant of Nityananda Prabhu or Advaita Acharya are certainly devotees. But devotees coming from other families should not be discriminated against. Indeed, whether the devotee come from family of previous Acharya or from an ordinary family, they should be treated equally. One should not think, oh, here is an American Goswami and discriminate against him. Nor should one think, here is the Nityananda Vansa Goswami. Once means family. There is an undercurrent, Prabhupada said at that time, of protest against our awarding, means Prabhupada awarding, the title Goswami to American Vaishnavas of the Krishna conscious movement. Sometimes people flatly tell the American devotees that their sannyas are a title of Goswami, not bona fide. However, according to the statement of Srila Rupa Goswami in this verse, an American Goswami and a Goswami in the family of Acharya are non-different. On the other hand, a devotee who has attained the title of Goswami but is not born in Brahman father, of a Brahman father or of a Goswami in the family of Nityananda Advaita Prabhu should not be artificially puffed up, Prabhupada is warning, by thinking that he has become a Goswami. No. He should always remember that as soon as he becomes materially puffed up, he immediately falls down. This Krishna conscious movement is transcendental science. Fill in the page, Krishna conscious movement purpose. This Krishna conscious movement is a transcendental science, and there is no room for jealousy. This movement is meant for Paramahansas, who are completely free from all jealousy, Param Nirmatsaranam Satam. One should not be jealous, whether he is born in the family of Goswami or has the title of Goswami awarded to him. As soon as anyone becomes envious, he falls from the platform of Paramhansa. What does envious means? What do you call envy? What does it mean? What is your understanding of envious?
Don't appreciate. Don't appreciate.
Don't appreciate.
Because we are not in that position, we feel like comparatively we feel bad and so we are envious.
So we are not in that position, so we comparatively
We feel like not good.
we
not
feel like
envious.
Inferior.
because we are in not that position, so we feel bad. So we criticize.
Suya anusuya. Yes.
We become puffed up and we think that.
What?
We become puffed up and we think that.
Become puffed up?
Yeah, and we.
When somebody puffed up, what he will do?
First of all, he thinks that he should also be in that.
What he will do?
You will try to put the other person's down.
He'll harm.
He try to put other person down how?
Blasphemy.
By
Blasphemy.
blasphemy, by
Criticism.
criticism, by
Anger.
finding.
Fault.
Finding faults.
That is the definition of
Finding
enviousness.
faults.
Enviousness means finding fault in others. Person may have good qualities, but you can only see the bad quality. That's called enviousness. Fault finding nature. You find fault, you criticize, you bring it down, so all will come fault finding. Anybody whose name is Anusuya means one who is non-envious, non-jealous. Anusuya, wife of Atri Rishi. She's Anusuya. She's a chaste wife. The Brahma, Vishnu, Mesh, three become her son. Because she did not find fault even in them. To find fault. So cow, white cow, beautiful. So it's a black tail. Who told this? Buffalo. Buffalo tells the cow, you have black tail. Cow looks, my God, you are all black. This is enviousness. You understand? This is enviousness. Finding fault. Enviousness, the another word is when Hanuman was flying to Lanka on his path, there was a demoness. She was called Chaya Grani, catching the shadow. You know, catching shadow. Her name was Singika. Hanuman could not fly because his shadow, she can't hold the shadow of Hanuman. So shadow is a black. So when you find the black thing in somebody, that's called enviousness. Or Singaka is a obstacle on the path of bhakti called enviousness. And Hanuman only killed her, tore her open and killed her. Envy has to be completely eradicated from the heart. Otherwise, this heart will never see the light of Krishna. Krishna says in 9th chapter, 1st verse, because you are non-enemies of me, therefore I am giving you this most confidential knowledge. Anusuya, the word is there. 9.1, what is 9.1? Idam te tu gohyatmam pravakshami anusuyavi. Because you are non-envious, you are non-jealous, you are not finding fault in me. Therefore I am giving you confidential knowledge. So those who are envious will not have confidential knowledge, which means devotional service. They will fall down. So enviousness has no remedy. Heart is burning to see other people advance. We cannot advance, therefore we cannot see other to advance. That is enviousness. Jealousy, why he has this? Why I don't have this? This mentality. And the whole world is actually jealous of one another. person, only in family there is a jealousy. The neighbors there is a jealousy. Countries there is a jealousy. It's all, they are nuclear power. Why we are not? They are all jealous. And therefore everybody is fighting on the planet. The opposite to jealousy is appreciation. If you appreciate somebody, then your heart will be purified. Okay, go to the next paragraph. If we consider the bodily defect of a Vaishnava, we should understand that we are committing an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. An offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnava is very serious. In its Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described this offense as Hati Mata. Hati means elephant, Mata means mad. Mad elephant. Offense. A mad elephant can create a disaster, especially when it enters into a nicely trimmed garden. One should therefore be very careful not to commit any offense against a Vaishnava. Every devotee should be ready to take instruction from superior Vaishnava, and the superior Vaishnava must be ready to help an inferior Vaishnava in all respect. What is this? What is this principle? Akhyati Guyam Akhyati Prachyati. This is the principle. Okay? Akhyati Guyam Akhyati Prachyati. One is superior or inferior according to spiritual development in Krishna consciousness. One is forbidden to observe the activities of pure Vaishnava from material point of view. For the neophyte especially, considering a pure devotee from material point of view is very injurious. Injurious to his devotion. One should therefore avoid observing a pure devotee externally, but should try to see the internal features and understand how he is engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord. In this way, one can avoid seeing the pure devotee from material point of view, and thus one can gradually become a purified devotee himself. Now, I think we have those who think that Krishna consciousness is, this is another you have put into the Krishna conscious movement. Those who think that Krishna consciousness is limited to certain section of people, it means Krishna conscious movement is only of the Western devotees. The people say Angrez Mandir, Sahib Lok Mandir, this is this consciousness. Certain section of devotees, European devotees, American devotees, Russian devotees, or certain tract of land. Oh, this is only Bengali Vaishnavas, Oriental Vaishnavas, something like that, only the tract of land, are generally prone to see the external feature of a devotee. Such neophyte, unable to appreciate the exalted service of the advanced devotee, the one singular. Can you see the word singular means Prabhupada? Now you see this is Prabhupada's personal realization. Now see what Prabhupada is writing. Such a neophyte unable to appreciate the exalted service of an advanced devotee, not plural, devotee, one person, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, try to bring the Mahabhagavat to their platform. We experience such difficulty in propagating this Krishna conscious movement all over the world. So, you can write in your that section that the opponent of Krishna conscious movement. You can put a separate one is mission of purpose of Krishna conscious movement and opponent of Krishna conscious movement in different purpose. So they are the opponent of Krishna conscious movement or critics of Krishna conscious movement. Unfortunately, we are surrounded by neophyte God brothers. Now Prabhupada is speaking about his own God brothers, who do not appreciate the external activities of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. They simply try to bring us to their platform. And they try to criticize us in every respect. We very much regret their naive activities and poor fund of knowledge. And now Prabhupada is saying, an empowered person who is actually engaged in confidential service of the Lord should not be treated as an ordinary human being. For it is stated that unless one is empowered by Krishna, one cannot spread the Krishna conscious movement all over the world. What is the verse? Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's the verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Huh? Nahi parivartan.
Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi.
Krishna Shakti Bina Nahi Parivartan. That is the verse. Until and unless one is empowered by Krishna, he cannot spread Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness because he was empowered by Krishna. When one thus criticizes a pure devotee, now principle. Now as a principle, Prabhupada is speaking about himself, now he is speaking about person. Principle. There is a person and principle. That person commits an offense, Vaishnava Aparadha. That is very obstructive and dangerous for those who desire to advance in Krishna consciousness. A person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Everyone should therefore be very careful not to be jealous of any empowered Vaishnava, number one. Or a Suddha Vaishnava, they should not be jealous. It means find fault and criticize. Number two, it is also an offense to consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action. It means you make rules and regulation and put structure on him. You cannot come in my temple, you cannot go there, put a structure on somebody. It means you limit his activities. Number two. Number three, it is offensive to try to give him advice or to correct him. Three, to give him advice and to correct him. One can distinguish between a neophyte Vaishnava and an advanced Vaishnava by their activities. Advanced Vaishnava is always situated as a spiritual master, and the neophyte is always considered his disciple. Now Prabhupada is somehow speaking something, maybe his own disciples wanted to give him advice, or they wanted to say something, and Prabhupada himself has seen something like that in the movement. So he's writing his realization here. The spiritual master must not be subjected to advice of a disciple. Nor should a spiritual master be obliged to take instruction from those who are not his disciples. This is the sum and substance of Srila Rupa Goswami's advice in the verse number 6. Now see here 6 warnings. Number 1. Because of bodily defects, nobody should criticize anybody. An example I gave you of Sanatana Goswami, never criticized by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, though he has oozing skin disease. Abominable activity by devotee, the verse quoted, Apichet Suduracharo. Sometimes they accidentally fall down. Like, it's abominable activity, just I said, Sanatana Goswami paid bribe is not a good activity. Sometimes such activities Giriraj Maharaj writes in his book about Bombay that I was young brahmachari, and then the landowner hired some prostitute and made me sit with me in the same car, to defame me and degrade me. So somebody can make a photo that Maharaj was sitting with somebody. So this is like, abominable act. But he said, somehow Krishna saved me. He has written something like that. So it happens sometime. One of the Prabhupada's disciples in Bombay is still alive. His name is Bada Haridas. He's Haridas, but because there are other Haridas, he's called Bada Haridas. He was, before becoming devotee, he was pickpocket. He was only just stealing everybody, pickpocket. So he was in a jail. He saw in a newspaper the Prabhupada's photo with a Rolex watch. He said, when I go out, I will steal this watch. So he came out, he found out Prabhupada is not in Bombay, he went to Hyderabad. Prabhupada was in Hyderabad. When Prabhupada saw him, Prabhupada said, you need this watch? He gave the watch. So he became devotee. He just was helping the devotees in the kitchen. So he went once to, but Prabhupada was giving initiation. He said, can I go and see what is initiation? He went there, Prabhupada said, you sit, I will initiate you. He was initiated. And there was no money in those days in Bombay. So everybody was supposed to go to collect money. He said, I don't know how to collect money, only I know how to pickpocket. So whatever you do, we need something to offer to deities. He said, I used to go in local train, get one pocket and come and give to them. And he said there was one devotee, Srila Prabhupada's disciple. Before becoming disciple, she was more like a dancer and, like enticing the people. And she has to collect money also. She used to go and, try to somehow influence people and get money. So they appears to be abominable actions, but their purpose was pure devotional service. So they are never criticized. Prabhupada was in an American city, and in the kitchen for making breakfast for Prabhupada, offering to the deities and giving to, there was no butter. So Malti Mataji went down, there was no money. Prabhupada was watching from a window. She saw a supply van for a store came. So the supply man went to supply something in the store, and she stole some butter from the van and ran up to the stair, made a nice pancake and everything, offered to the deities, brought to the Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, so Malati, very nice person, beautiful butter. From where you got this? She was embarrassed. She said, Prabhupada, what can I do? There was nothing. I went down and took it from the van. Prabhupada said, our Krishna was also butter thief. Krishna was butter thief. So it is an abominable act from a other point of view, but she was not doing it for any material benefit. She was wanted to please Prabhupada and offer it to the Krishna. So it appears like a, but it's an abominable thing. But it was never criticized. So this is third. For material consideration, caste or heredity, it means one should not criticize anybody because of heredity or birth by material consideration. Like Rupa Sanatana Goswami, they were almost Muslims, their name was changed, but Mahaprabhu said they are Goswami. So our foreigner Goswami, they should be equally treated. Not heritage Goswamis are only the Goswamis. So to discriminate between the pure devotees. Discriminating on material point of view on the basis of society, caste and creed. Being envious of the devotee and misbehaving with them, para number 6. The effect of Vaishnava Aparadh, para number 7. Criticizing an empowered Vaishnava, para 8. Consider an empowered Vaishnava an object of disciplinary action or try to give advice or correct him. So these are the 6 warnings. We should not offend any Vaishnava. Shuddha Bhakti, para 1 and 2. Shuddha Bhakti is performed in the liberated condition. This is called Avibhicharani Bhakti, free from the material motives. Consciousness, material consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Aim towards material enjoyment, aim towards serving Krishna. 6. Chapter 6. Aprakrit Vaishnava Prakrit Drishti Nishedh, para number 3. Seeing Vaishnava from materialistic point of view. Seeing Vaishnava from materialistic point of view, para number 3. Devotees having body, born and low family, number 1. A body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, a diseased or infirm body. Such imperfection may seem prominent in body of pure devotees, but despite such seeming defects, the body of pure devotee cannot be polluted. Polluted by modes of material nature. So seeing Vaishnava from materialistic vision is prohibited. Now we are going to the verse number 7. You have any questions or comment?
So there is an essay question for instruction. So I just wanted to understand. So this is
Our question about this question bank question about this verse 6.
yeah, so there's an essay question from Mr. So yeah, from verse 6. So just read that. So this is a preaching application as well as a personal application question. Mention some practical challenges that you have seen devotees encounter in applying the principle mentioned in verse 6. What suggestion would you give to tackle them?
To
Tackle them. The practical.
personal application and
Preaching, both.
preaching and personal application. So basically for personal application, these 6 warning we should be always very careful about, not to comment offenses towards Vaishnavas. And for preaching purpose, we should preach that there is no discrimination between the caste, creed and other of the devotees. Anybody who controls their senses is Goswami, not the one only who is born in a family of Goswami. That's for the preaching purpose. And then our challenge is usually most Ati Mata is our challenge, criticizing Vaishnava. And how to counteract that. First, we should not offend any Vaishnava. If unconsciously we are offended, we should go and ask for forgiveness from them, and exchange 6 exchanges with them for more loving reciprocation rather than criticizing. Hare Krishna. So, anything? Yes?
So Prabhuji, here towards the end, in this verse, 6th verse, it says that advanced Vaishnava, it says that it is, one can distinguish between a neophyte Vaishnava and an advanced Vaishnava by their activities.
By their activities, advanced Vaishnava preach Krishna consciousness and bring people to Krishna consciousness. Neophyte devotees find fault in such devotee. That's what this whole purport is there in that section.
Yes.
And then Prabhupada writes, I am the superior Vaishnava, making the whole world Krishna conscious, and my god brothers are neophyte Vaishnava criticizing me. That's what Prabhupada is saying actually.
But overall, this entire 6th verse is somewhat that Bhagavad Gita 5.18 says that Pandita Samadarshana. So we have to follow that rule or what? Because
Prabhupada said, Prabhupada was an indoor, and he criticized Mayavadis like anything. Then some gentleman came and said, Swami, you must have equal vision. Why you are criticizing? Prabhupada said, I have equal vision. Ultimately say, I have my equal vision. I have distributed the message of Bhagavad Gita without differentiation and discrimination of the people. That is my equal vision. That I gave the message of Bhagavad Gita to the Western world, to the African world, without discrimination. That is my equal vision. Pandita Samdarshana. It's not that those who are offended to the Krishna, I should just not criticize them. They must be criticized. So Prabhupada, this is my Samdarshi. I am giving the chance to everybody to become Krishna conscious. Yes.
There is one statement here. One should therefore avoid observing a pure devotee externally, but should try to see the internal features and understand how he is engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord. So my question is, at the stage of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, mostly one is not mature enough. It's the externals which drive the image or the perception of a person rather than the internals. So how is that we can try to apply this principle in trying to see the internal?
Very simple. Internal, what internal actually means. Says, I have seen, say, person A is a spiritual master, but is not getting along with some other senior devotees. There are differences. But when I see he has, he has 10 temple built, he has thousands of followers. So we see what good thing he has done rather than we can see what something, some small thing we see which we should not see, we see the
Focus
bigger thing. Now, I'm personally at our age level, mostly senior devotees, spiritual master, GBC, we see all around us. Sometimes we see there are differences among themselves, fighting. So instead of seeing that, we see how much they have accomplished. Like once, I think those who were the early Prabhupada's followers, Rameshwar, Bhagavan, these are the disciples of Prabhupada. Rameshwar was the BBT production manager, printed all books. Bhagavan established the whole European yatra and African yatra. The great preachers like anything. Now they are no more in movement. But what they have done for Prabhupada, in front of them, we are nothing. You understand what I'm saying? If you see any old video of Prabhupada, they are there. They are with Prabhupada, Brahmananda. Gargamuni is right here. They brought millions of dollars to Prabhupada to establish Krishna consciousness. So what they have given to Prabhupada and Krishna conscious movement, we can never think of and imagine of. So such people should never be criticized. No, they may not be doing anything now. But what they have done, we cannot do in many lifetimes. We cannot do in many lifetimes what they have done. We don't really, if I see one of those old, they have built Mayapur and everything, but now they are just like ordinary. There were thousands of disciples, Bhavan and another. They were all gurus. But what they have accomplished, that is always respected. We see now they are not in the movement, but their contribution will be in the history. So in this way, we should not see the present external position of those people, but we should see what they have done for the movement, how much they were dear to Prabhupada.
These warnings against committing these offenses to pure devotees, they are equally applicable to any devotee, no Prabhuji?
Generally speaking, it says Madhyam Kanishna, it's usually Uttam. Usually it's Uttam and spiritual master. Mainly your personal spiritual master or the other spiritual masters which are in the movement. Not only my spiritual master, but all the spiritual masters. All the senior Vaishnavas, we should have a respect for them. So these are all more or less unearthed devotee. Now we are reading verse number 7. Syat Krishna Nama Charita Disita Pi Avidya. Syat Krishna Nama Charita Disita Pi Avidya. Pittopataptaha rasanasya narocikano. Pittopatapta rasanasya narocikano. Kintvadarata anodinam kalu saiva jushta. Kintvadarata anodinam kalu saiva jushta. Swadi karamadi bhavati tadagat Mula antari. Swadvehi kramada bhavati tadagada mula antari. Siyata Krishna Nama Charita Disita Pi Avidya. Ita utapatapta rasanasya narocikana. Kintvadarada anodinam khalsaiva jushta. Swadvihi kramada bhavati tadagada mula antari. Siyata Krishna Nama Charita Disita Pi Avidya. पीतोत्तपत्तप्तरसनस्य नरोचिको नो किन्त्वादराद अनुदेनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वादिक्रमाद भवति तदगदमूलहन्तरी पढ़िए बसंत छंद है कोई
The holy name, character, pastime,
संस्कृत पढ़ो
स्यात् कृष्ण नाम चरितादिसिताप्य विद्या
स्यात् कृष्ण नाम चरितादिसिताप्य विद्या
वित्तोपतप्त रसनस्य नरोचिकानो
पीतोत्तप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानो
किन्त्वादरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा
किन्त्वादरादनुदेनं खलु सैव जुष्टा
स्वाद्विक्रमाद् भवति तद्गदमूलहन्त्री
स्वादिक्रमादिभवत्तदमूलहन्तरी Yes. देवियो स्यात् कृष्ण नाम चरितादिसिताप्य विद्या पीतोत्तपत्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानो किमादराद अनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वाद्वेक्रमाद भवति तदगदमूलहन्तरी. So in this verse, one is the analogy. The analogy is person suffering from jaundice, liver disease. His tongue is not actually tasting sugar candy. It looks like sugar is bitter. Tongue afflicted by jaundice, a disease, taste the sugar cane juice as bitter neem juice. But the treatment of jaundice is sugar cane juice. This one thing you understand? You know jaundice something?
Yeah, they use lights in the hospital.
Jaundice is a liver.
Jaundice, yellow.
Jaundice is a liver disease.
Yellow.
Yellow. So because of that, the tongue doesn't taste sweet. In a fever, all fever tongue never tastes sweet. So the treatment of liver disease is sugar cane juice, glucose. But when you drink that, it looks bitter, not as sweet. Therefore, what should we do? We only give the sugar cane juice to him to treat the disease. This is the analogy. Similarly, chanting of the holy name is very bitter. Because we have same disease, jaundice. So this jaundice is compared to word here avidya, which means ignorance. So now one thing remember, jaundice is equal to ignorance. Sugarcane juice is treatment for jaundice, and treatment for ignorance is holy name. Holy name. So when we have disease, holy name is not tasty. So what is the treatment? Regularly with respect chanting holy name will cure the disease from root. Moola Antri. Now you understand the concept of this verse?
Yes.
Now our translation. The holy name, character, pastime and activities. Syat Krishna Nam Charit Adi. Alright? Krishna Nam means holy name. Charita means character. Adi is pastime or activities. All are transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Sitapi. Sita means sweet. Sitapi. Although the tongue of an afflicted by jaundice of avidya, ignorance, apya avidya pita utpatapta rasna. Rasna means tongue. Rasna means tongue. Pita means jaundice. Utpat means one who is suffering from. Utpat means actually suffering. Pida. Utpat. Tapat. Tapat means, see word to word meaning tapat. Uttapat means afflicted. Is afflicted? See word to word meaning?
Yes.
Yes.
Afflicted. Pita means jaundice. Is it clear?
Yes. Afflicted.
Yes. Cannot taste anything sweet. Na rochika no. Rochika means taste. Ruchi, he has no taste. It is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, Kintwa adrad. Adrad means carefully. Adrad means with respect. Anudina means every day. Saiva Justa means chanting. A natural relish awakens within his tongue. Swadi kramad bhavati. Kramad means one step by step. And his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Tad-gata moola hantari. Is the same translation in our book is like that?
Yes.
Prabhuji,
Huh?
Anudinam, Prabhupada is translating in two ways, every day or 24 hours daily.
But I'm saying Anudina means regularly. It means regularly. The translation what is written here is exactly in the book, right?
Yes.
Okay, now this is the purport. Paragraph number 1, holy name is like sugar candy and avidya is like jaundice. Okay? Paragraph number 2, disease condition and healthy condition of the soul. Disease and health condition of the soul and healthy condition of the soul. 3 and 4 paragraph, Krishna consciousness, the remedy for the gross ignorance. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the cure for the disease of avidya, paragraph number 5. The 3 stages of chanting, paragraph number 6. Chanting with offenses, pure chanting and clearing stage are namavas. Chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra take one from Shraddha to Prem and destroys avidya. 7 to 10, paragraph number 7 to 10. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra from the beginning, faith to the love of God. And ignorance is described. This is the breakdown of the subject in different paragraphs. So here, first paragraph, tomorrow we will read, okay? We will read this paragraph tomorrow. Okay? Oh my God. We have few days left and we have to finish everything. Hare Krishna. could have finished.